video, we are going to tackle about the evolution of media from the traditional media to the new media. So, let's get into it. So first of all, what is the usage of the evolution of media to our society?
The evolution of media is a useful supplement for foundational courses in mass communication and communication history, meaning it enhances our communication, art, and writing skills which were adopted by our mind's capacity.
After knowing this little information, let us now head into knowing the first ever media discovered by the ancient people during the pre-industrial age before 1700s. Now, let us dig into some of the modes of media during the pre-industrial age, which includes cave paintings, clay tablets,
Papyrus, Acta diurna,
dibao, codex, and printing press using woodblocks.
Cave paintings, which are discovered during the 35,000 BC era, are a type of parietal art or an untouched art which are found on the wall or ceilings of caves. Cave paintings are generally considered to convey a symbolic or religious functions, or sometimes both. Clay tablets are written in a system called cuneiform during 2400 BC. The symbols were written in a damp clay formed into a flat tablet with the use of stylus. This system was used a lot in the ancient Middle East, marked with symbols showing quantities of barley rations for workers. Papyrus, from which we get the modern word paper, is a writing material used by ancient Egypt made from the papyrus plant. This plant was long cultivated in the Nile Delta region where it was found, collected, and formed into a paper. Acta diurna in Rome was discovered during 130 BC. These were the daily Roman official notices, a sort of daily gazette. They were carved on stone or metal and presented in message boards in public places like the Forum of Rome. Dibao in China during the 2nd century, which sometimes called headmen or constables, were local officials in Qing and early Republican China, typically selected from among the prominent landowners. Codex in the Mayan region, which were discovered during the 5th century, are folding books written by the pre-Columbian Maya civilization in Maya hieroglyphic script on Mesoamerican bark paper. The codices have been named for the cities where they eventually settled. Woodblock printing or block printing during 220 AD is a technique for printing text, images, or patterns used widely throughout East Asia and originating in China in antiquity as a method of printing on textiles and later paper.
We're now down to the second period in the evolution of media, which is the industrial age. Now, what is the contribution that the industrial age brought to us up to this day?
The industrial age is a period of history that encompasses the changes in economic and social organization during 1700s to 1930s. The Industrial Revolution transformed economies that had been based on agriculture and handicrafts into economies based on large-scale industry, mechanized manufacturing, and the factory system.
There are lots of modes of media during the industrial age, and this includes printing press for mass production, newspaper, typewriter, telephone, motion picture photography or projection, commercial motion pictures, motion picture with sound, telegraph, and punch cards.
During the 19th century, printing press widened its contribution to the society. Johannes Gutenberg is usually cited as the inventor of the printing press. Indeed, the German goldsmith's contribution to the technology was revolutionary, enabling the mass production of books and the rapid dissemination of knowledge throughout Europe. Newspapers were first called gazettes in 1640s. A newspaper is a periodical publication containing written information about current events and is often typed in black ink with a white or gray background. The first newspaper was published during 1690s. A typewriter, which was invented during the 1800s, is a mechanical or electromechanical machine for typing characters. Typically, a typewriter has an array of keys and each one causes a different single character to be produced on paper by striking an ink ribbon selectively against the paper with the type element. Telephones were first invented during 1876. A telephone is a telecommunications device that permits two or more users to conduct a conversation when they are too far apart to be heard directly. Motion picture photography dating from the 1890s is one of the oldest of modern imaging technologies that remains current today. When the still pictures are projected progressively and rapidly onto a screen, the eye perceives motion, hence they become a motion picture. Commercial filming means the use of motion picture, videotaping, sound recording, or other moving image or audio recording equipment that involves the advertisement of an event, product, or service. These were first used during the 1930s. A sound film is a motion picture with synchronized sound or sound technologically coupled to the image as opposed to a silent film. The first known public exhibition of projected sound films took place in Paris in 1900s, but decades passed before sound motion picture were made commercially practical. Telegraph was the first electrical telecommunication system and the most widely used of a number of early messaging systems called telegraphs that were devised to communicate text messages more rapidly than by physical transportation. A punched card is a piece of stiff paper that holds digital data represented by the presence or absence of holes in predefined positions. Many early digital computers used punched cards as the primary medium for input of both computer programs and data.
Now, we'll head to the third period in the evolution of media, which is the electronic age, during the 1930s to the 1980s.
Electronic age is the period where people harnessed the power of electricity that led to electrical telegraphy, electrical circuits, and the early large-scale computers. In this age, long-distance communication became possible.
There are lots of modes that the electronic age brought to us that are still beneficial until today's generation, and these are transistor radio, television, large electronic computers, mainframe computers, personal computers, OHP or LCD projectors.
A transistor radio is a small portable radio receiver that uses transistor-based circuitry. Transistor radios are still commonly used as car radios. Television, sometimes shortened to TV or tele, is a telecommunication medium used for transmitting moving images in black and white or in color, and in 2 or 3 dimensions in sound. The term can refer to a television set, a television show, or the medium of television transmission. ENIAC, in full electronic numerical integrator and computer, the first programmable general-purpose electronic digital computer built during World War II by the United States. Mainframes are high-performance computers with large amounts of memory and processors that process billions of simple calculations and transactions in real time. The mainframe is critical to commercial databases, transaction servers, and applications that require higher resiliency, security, and agility. A personal computer is a multi-purpose microcomputer whose size, capabilities, and price makes it feasible for individual use. Personal computers are intended to be operated directly by an end user rather than by a computer expert or technician. An overhead projector, like a film or slide projector, uses light to project an enlarged image on a screen, allowing the view of a small document or picture to be shared with a large audience.
And we are at the final period of the evolution of media, which is the information age or the new media age during the 1900s up to 2000.
The information age is a historical period that began in the mid-20th century, characterized by a rapid epochal shift from traditional industry established by the Industrial Revolution to an economy primarily based upon information technology. The Internet paved the way for faster communication and the creation of the social network. We are now living in the information age.
And as we know, as our world advanced, So the media does, and so bunch of inventions were made up to the present days, and these includes web browsers, blogs, social networks, microblogs, video, augmented or virtual reality, video chat, search engines, portable computers, smartphones, wearable technology, and cloud and big data.
A web browser is application software for accessing the World Wide Web. A blog is a discussion or informational website published on the World Wide Web consisting of discrete, often informal diary-style text entries. A social networking service or SNS is an online platform which people use to build social networks or social relationships with other people who share similar personal or career content, interests, activities, backgrounds, or real-life connections. Microblogging is an online broadcast medium that exists as a specific form of blogging. Video is an electronic medium for the recording, copying, playback, broadcasting, and display of moving visual media. Augmented reality is an interactive experience of a real-world environment where the objects that reside in the real world are enhanced by computer-generated perceptual information, sometimes across multiple sensory modalities, including visual, auditory, haptic, somatosensory, and olfactory. Video chat is an act of communicating visually with another person via computer. Video chat may refer to video calling or video messaging. A search engine is a software system that is designed to carry out web searches. A portable computer is a computer designed to be easily moved from one place to another and included a display and keyboard together with a single plug, much like later desktop computers called all-in-ones that integrate the system's internal components into the same case as the display. A smartphone is a computing platform portable device that combines mobile telephone and computing functions into one unit. Wearable technology, also known as wearables, is a category of electronic devices that can be worn as accessories, embedded in clothing, implanted in the user's body, or even tattooed on the skin. The public cloud has emerged as an ideal platform for big data. A cloud has the resources and services that a business can use on demand, and the business doesn't have to build, own, or maintain the infrastructure.
The study of media history is important because it helps us understand the past, the present, and the future. Through an understanding of where the media came from, we can predict things by seeing how they happened before. The study of media history also gives us an identity and will continue to give us an identity as our world advances. And that is it for this video. Let us always consider the importance of the evolution of media in our lives, and we may also contribute to the advancement of our media for a more successful society and economy ahead of us.